Yeah. Should play some XCOM? I don't know. I don't know. Well, I guess so. I was thinking I'd start with XCOM today. See how it feels. I feel like switching to XCOM, I can't really get into it for like 6 hours because it's such a intense strategy game, and so switching to it after playing a different intense strategy game, it's like my brain just doesn't have enough energy anymore. But we'll see how much XCOM I can play this way around. And then after XCOM, maybe we'll do something else as well. Hey, Bress. Hey, Eurus. Thanks for that 19-month sub, Bress. Agabomo show to you as well. We had a supply retaliation to do.
Setting course for Sector 6, Eastern Europe.
I wonder what it looks like if I just autofill this. We have just barely enough soldiers, it looks like. Yeah, I gravely wounded my trial by fire officer, which is going to make it harder to quickly level up. Now we're like lower level squaddies now. Bad. I already have 3 squads deployed, and this is going to be 8 soldiers, so I'm not going to have full armor for everybody, which is just going to have to be what it is. Not going to build more exosuits right now, I don't think. Could maybe build 1. Thing is, I have to build a bunch of coil guns in 9 days. Or I could just research coil guns and then not build them. That would be an interesting strategy. No, I think I probably want to build a bunch of coil guns soon. I have 11 exosuits. They're starting to fall off a little bit, but they're certainly better than Kevlar armor. I'll have to start researching advanced coil as well so that I can get the better sniper rifles built. Still using laser sniper rifles. Just taking a look through all of this and trying to work out what I need to be building right now. I need more skelljacks. Definitely. Build one of those now. Build one more. This trial by fire bugged somehow. You had a mission where squad didn't get promoted. I've never seen that personally, but if you see something happen in this game where you were pretty sure something else was meant to happen, I would say it is generally a pretty safe bet that it was a bug of some sort. Like, that's just like generally a relatively safe assumption, I would say. Am I going for war suits or powered armor? Suits I actually build. We'll work that out later. Haven't decided what I'm going to do for armor late in the campaign yet. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do after coil at all. We could go into psi stuff. We could go for some sort of armor. We could grab the, like, quest-related technologies real quick. Lots of different things we could do. So skulljacks are important because they give plus 20 hack to our specialists. And just making sure there's no one with like pistol perks, so I haven't given a pistol to yet. You have a pistol? Alright. There's the soldier with hollow targeting isn't here, right? Okay. So this looks relatively reasonable to me. Have a better shotgun? I sure do. Jewelry. And Morna, hello, hey Bobo. Building alloy plating was an interesting choice. And, yeah, I don't know. You get better platings later? I think I may have just, like, forgotten what it was. Do I have it right now? Well, I haven't even researched it. Apparently. Looks like it. Do I have a technical on the mission? Because I have a tier 2 gauntlet that I don't think I gave to anybody yet. Yeah. Alright. I have conveniently remembered to give it to someone when I have Jorbs on the mission waiting to be equipped, so looks like Jorbs gets it. Awesome.
In position for deployment.
I didn't do the Proving Ground project for alloy plating yet. Sure. Well, someday I will, perhaps. I don't know if Saya is crazy OP in Long War 2. It's strong if you get it going, but it takes a long time to get it going. Which is a very weird thing to try to balance for. So I guess, like, if you're ahead in a campaign, it's one way to perhaps solidify a late game win. Might be one way to think about it. E.K. Hawkman. Angedello, hello, good evening. General Spoon, hey, Ahmed Moab. Just enjoy the cinematic now for the first mission of the day before my frame rate drops to like 5 frames per second after having this game window open for like 30 minutes. Oh shit! We got 2 robots. Incredible. So for a supply retaliation, if I remember right, I don't know, are there 2 pods on the map at the start, or is it actually an empty map at the start?
Moving to designated coordinates.
Hey, some Nebulous, stay Alice in Numberland, GPPV Insane, hello. Map starts empty if you recall correctly. I'm vaguely remembering that being the case too.
Will do.
I wonder if like once upon a time it had 2 pods on it, but that ended up being too much. Ammonia. Because these missions that are based around killing reinforcements are very hard to get to a point where they feel right. If you're not killing the reinforcements at the rate that they drop in at, you lose. You not only lose, but you lose very convincingly. And it's like never really like close to being winnable. But if you're killing them at the rate that they drop in at, you just like kill them. And that isn't very interesting either. That is uninteresting in the other direction. So I think maybe at some point in testing we had 2 pods on the map at the start of this, or maybe 1 pod, I don't know. But we found that it just made the mission too difficult, so we stopped doing that.
Orders confirmed.
I wonder where they are.
I've got enemy movement here.
Okay. There's a mission where aliens keep on dropping in every turn for a while, but then eventually alien reinforcements do run out.
Hostile neutralized.
Dark side of the rainbow. As long as the mechs don't die. They don't like take relevant wounds in any way. They're not like disabled for a while if they've been damaged or anything like that. So it makes sense to use them to try to soak up some attacks. Just have to make sure I don't get hit by a rocket launcher. That fellow does have a rocket launcher.
Move, move, move!
Do enemies target the supplies at all? I don't believe they do.
Got it covered. Good to go.
Oh, you have an entire extra action still. Did I already study with you though? Nope. Okay, so I could take another shot with the sniper rifle.
I cast Long Strider on myself.
Stepping off. Advent troops spotted.
I trusted you, chat. Chat, I trusted you. Well, that's a bit of a mess.
Running!
Isn't that the second reinforcement pod? Oh, are there 2 reinforcement pods? Is that what happened? Thanks.
On my way. Blasting that target. Headed there now. Moving to Overwatch.
Okay, so I might lose some soldiers here. Yeah, maybe it's 2 reinforcement pods on the first turn, and then after that it
Sure thing.
goes back to normal. Maybe that's how it works. I'm gonna put rebels in front of them. I would generally prefer that my rebels die than my soldiers take wounds here. This haven's sort of on its way out, I think. So
I hope it's worth it.
going to stop being a useful haven very soon.
Ten 4.
Gate crashing now would be very bad. I don't think it's possible for this mission to go poorly enough for us to go to Gate Crasher off-ed. That seems like an unlikely thing to have happen.
Good riddance.
Is that because it'll be liberated or because all of the rebels will be dead? It's because it's like gotten up to very high enemy strength, and on top of that we've lost like 5 or 6 rebels and retaliations and stuff. So we can't do a great job of detecting the missions anymore. I just switched it over to working supply, that's why we're doing a supply retaliation. And yeah, if I'm working supply, that implies that I don't think the Haven's very good at making missions for us
Enemy
anymore.
contact. Close.
Alright, that's cool. Except not good. What sort of thing would result in gate crashing? Once I like put coil guns on my A-team and go to an HQ with them, if I squad wiped on that mission and lost all of my coil and all of my A-team, that would probably not be good. Whoa.
They're all over me.
Looks like they called in backup.
Okay. We are not dead yet. May have taken some wounds. I'm gonna take the short kill so that I can steady with this gun and be ready for next turn.
Taken care of.
Yeah, Shostakovich.
Locked and loaded.
Yeah, it's fun to come back to XCOM for a bit.
Seems doable.
Humor style, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, Bernard.
Well, how about that?
How's that only a 39%? That snake has heavy cover, apparently. Whoops. Oh hey, Jorbs is fine.
I'm not being the guy left behind. Do human rights apply to aliens?
Do they? Damn it, Jorbs. Asking the toughest questions.
Hit the armor. Grenade out.
Would it be worth diving straight into Long War 2 if you've not played the XCOM 2 regular campaign? I always say if you have a strong grasp of XCOM, it's possible to go into the Long Wars, but I think the XCOM 2 vanilla game is pretty decent, so I don't think it's a bad idea to take some time getting accustomed to that.
Kill confirmed.
Pretty decent. Yeah, I mean, it's not.
Heading out.
It's okay for what it is, which is very vanilla squad-based tactics game with
I'll do the best.
some amount of depth. But it's not like a grand strategy game with incredibly complicated
Moving.
extended combats like Long War 2 amps it up to.
I'm on it.
I think the map's actually clear, other than this Muton. Who I just can't see for some reason. Is it invisible? Like, what's going on?
Affirmative.
I can see it from out here. Okay.
Deflection.
If you're looking for depth, you should play Terror from the Deep.
Not a
Alright,
problem.
we did it, Twitch chat. There's your one joke for the day. Nobody else is allowed to make jokes anymore because we've already done the one.
I'm on it.
Well done, though.
I'm on it.
Very funny. Ooh, shall I use this? Gremlin flies to each squad member, healing or reviving them as needed.
Big heal.
Okay. Reviving does remove unconscious, yeah. It's one of the abilities in the game that can get rid of unconscious.
Hard target. Minimal damage.
It's that and
Come on.
the one called Revive, right? I think there's one that's just straight up called Revive that's also on specialists. Do you think the Rocketeer noticed that he is standing on a Rocketeer corpse? It's a little bit awkward. Feels bad. Ooh, a skull mine?
Moving to access.
Keep it coming. I should just build squads of 8
Can't handle
specialists.
me.
Just run a skull mining economy. I've never tried doing that, but I bet it's pretty strong if you get it going.
What's over there?
This is for you.
Why is it called a skull mine? Because you're like getting data out of their head. I can just tear the dude's brain apart. Yeah. Maybe a little bit. Robot don't give a fuck.
I'm on it.
Do I have Lone Wolf here? No, this is a stealth shinobi.
They're on to me.
Hey, Hercules. You know, I'm having a day. You know,
Happy now?
good day to chill out and play some video games, kill some aliens, stuff like that.
No longer a threat.
Pete has a mag pistol, which is the highest technology pistol that I can build.
Now we press the Overwatch button.
Moving. Got it covered.
Alright,
Back in.
other than the very start, this was
thing.
not so bad.
Affirmative. Covering now.
Overwatch.
Back in. I'm on
How
it.
much damage does a mag pistol do? I think it was 3 to 5.
Got it covered.
Affirmative. Covering now.
Let's rock.
Overwatch. Looks like they called in backup.
I think people are vaguely in sensible places already.
Scanning.
Not sure that I need to move them.
Amateur! I'm on
I'm
Overwatch.
on it. Moving to Overwatch.
Got it covered.
On Overwatch. Ready to engage.
I
Overwatch.
don't know about the volume
yeah.
balancing on that voice
Eyes
pack.
on the prize. Got it covered.
Got some advent here.
The sidearm's as strong as an assault rifle. Yep.
Negative
Fortunately, I have high self-esteem.
Okay. I still see 4 of those alive.
Maybe a flash wound. It's still moving.
Hot damn. That was a good hit.
Got some advent here.
What the fuck? You serious? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a ninth, 9. I thought these missions were easy.
That won't do it.
Holy fuck, there's so many of them.
Here I come. This is gonna hurt. Fire in the hole!
You have to do this one more time later? Huh. Wonder if there's a way to work out where they're going to drop in. Maybe there is.
Back off! We have multiple targets down.
I'm coming for you.
This is that thing about how
Got it covered.
assaults get wounded a lot. Yeah. I don't know about that move. Let's see how it goes. Maybe I should have fired this rocket first. Roust the assault into cover. It's a line. I'm not quite sure we need to do that, but it's a line.
No problem, boss.
You apply aid protocol more than once. No.
This is for you.
Only once per turn anyway. You can apply other offensive abilities like Fortify gives 20 defense plus the aid protocol gives defense.
Move, move, move.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Yes, we are. It's the 8-month subbed. Magbomo show to you too. No shredder ammo yet.
I miss? I don't understand. Wizards need no bullets. Wait, the gun does?
On my way. I'm ready.
Yeah, dog. Thanks for the 13 months. Appreciate adding to the XCOM luck. We could use that right now. Okay. I think, does that cancel the area suppression or not? It doesn't? That's good.
Heading there now.
We're down to 4 active enemies.
No need to ask twice.
significantly less scary.
No need to ask twice.
Will do.
Hold on. If I remember right,
Time to motor.
these don't have any range, right? Damn, they do. I think there was some point at which that ability didn't have any range limitation. Because like the AI doesn't need a range limitation on it or something. I don't remember this shit. Anyway, seems that it does now.
Hostile neutralized.
The green robots definitely shoot really far. Maybe I'm thinking of the green robots having no aim limitation. Gonna hide my sharpshooter. Just ran into area suppression, I think.
Try harder.
It was okay. Good turn.
Okay, this is bad.
Oof. Don't kill her. No crit for 10. Good.
I'm alright.
A little bit of defense stacking, and it got us through that.
I can handle that. Impressed yet?
Does area suppression apply to an enemy that runs into the area during the alien turn? Probably not actually. Maybe. Maybe in some ways. Maybe in other ways. I don't know. I have to test it.
Missed.
What actions can a Burning Crystal or Berserker take? They can still melee attack.
There you
I
go.
don't think the Berserker is allowed to use the charge attack though. But if they walk next to something, they should be able to melee attack it from next
Not
to
a
it.
problem. That's right.
Status confirmed.
Hey, we did it.
All hostiles are down and the area is secure. Status confirmed. Mission
What
accomplished.
it was... That was a lot of experience with no infiltration time. I also got 10 intel. Idiot Key Cameron. Thanks for the year sub. Dog Bomo show to you too. You're very welcome. How many wounds though? I think like 2 or 3? Plus the one on the robot, but yeah. It's okay. That doesn't actually count for anything once we're out of the mission. 4 days, 13 days, and 9 days. Eh, not a huge problem. We didn't get any level ups, I guess, but we did get experience on all of those soldiers. Wait. We did get a level up. It was just on the Haven Advisor who was on the mission, rather than on one of the soldiers who responded in the Sky Ranger. Do I want to do this? Okay, I looked at it and decided no. So... Looting out for network tower without coil gun. I'll wait for coil guns. The only problem is the mission's gonna get tougher the longer we wait. Expect Advent to start stacking this region with soldiers pretty heavily. We waited 4 days. It looks like we have a pretty good team ready to go. Wait for maybe 4 days, maybe 9 days. We'll decide based on what's going on. How many coil guns can we build once we get them? We'll be able to build like just barely enough for our network tower team to have some rifles and stuff. We don't even have advanced coil yet, so we still can't build the sniper rifle or the shotgun. We can get a couple of assault runs and assault guns and 1 SMG maybe. That Liberation 1 in that region? New India. Yeah, probably. Beam, thanks for the 8 months. Agbamushu to you as well. Hey, Dr. Jeeves. Oh. It was Southern Hemisphere Christmas 3 days ago. That's interesting. I missed it this year. Wasn't paying attention. Justico Lich, thanks very much for the 1,000 bits for liberating all the aliens from their bodies. I appreciate that. No Skulljack, I have a couple. It's a weird mission. It's like, it's just barely doable. Somewhat substantial risk involved in it. I would boost it, so I'm gonna lose 3 intel on it. Although I get like, you know, hack rewards and stuff like that. Let's go look at it.
Course for Sector 5, India.
Let's see what the squad actually looks like if we were to load something out. Yikes. I built the exosuits. I should probably deploy them on missions. Okay, so Shinobi Specialists have Hazmat. We have Double Sharpshooter, which is going to be interesting. Maybe just ban. Should have AP rounds. Could bring the incendiary grenade. Gotta remember to take this grenade off of that soldier and put it back on the grenadier when I can, but it is a nice grenade to have. I feel like I should have the Predator armor available. Or is that on... that might be on a mission. I forget which one, but I vaguely remember it's on like a technical on one of the missions. Okay. Zelt. CM. Agbamushu to you too. Thanks for 5 months. Any chance of seeing a Long War 1 stream at some point? I played Long War 1 not that long ago on this channel. Should probably be able to just go back and find the VODs of that still. Maybe they're just barely expired. I'm not currently planning to like play it again super soon. Although anything can happen. More stuff. What is this one? Yeah, we don't want to do that one. That brings vigilance higher in New India, which is not so incredible. 9-hour supply raid. We're not going to be able to beat that in 9 hours. It's going to make this troop column more difficult, and it's going to make this network tower more difficult. The troop column has another 7 days to infiltrate it though, so that's sort of fine. It should be okay. I didn't finish that run. I mean, I got to a point where I was sort of winning. Takes a long time to finish one of these. I have an upper limit for region strengths, after which I don't attempt missions at all. Depends what mission. Generally, once a region gets like up above 6 strength, I'm gonna stop making intel in it, but I'll still play like retaliation missions in it. Defend the haven. You have 3 Long War 1 playthroughs that are basically done except for the side grinds, which you always lose interest in. I don't think late game in Long War 1 is that great, just in general. I'm not sure late game in Long War 2 is that great either, but okay, I prefer it. This is interesting. I could save like 30 intel by aborting this, going over here, running this mission, and for this mission it looks like I probably don't need to boost. Let's do that.
Sky Ranger deployed.
Squad secure. Lifting off.
Also, that leaves Liberation 1 available in New India for later. I don't really feel like I have to be going super hard to get Liberation done in that region, so I'm probably fine. I may still have to boost it, we'll see. The reason I have put off skulljacking an officer, I don't think there's been an officer on a mission that I've had a skulljack on, so there also just like isn't any reason to do it right now. Face off. Fire once at every visible enemy with your pistol. This is generally a fairly powerful ability. Got a rookie in Western US. That means we didn't get a rebel here. It's a region with only 3 rebels. That's unfortunate. Got a rookie in West Asia as well. Waiting for this to be vulnerable. Yeah, there's no reason to launch this right now that I can think of. Although it's already very light, which is nice. I guess force is about to go up to 10. Got return fire and quick draw done on Ura Jackson. I don't know that I'm gonna go crazy with training Gunslinger here. Gunslinger is an ability that I'm not very likely to use a whole ton of the time. So probably you're down in the AWC for right now. Why does this one have Intel and Intel package and the other one only had Intel? This one's Liberation 1. Means that as part of finishing the mission, I make Liberation 2 start spawning. And then there's Liberation 3, and then Liberation 4 is the network tower, Liberation 5 is the HQ, and then we liberate the region. So that's the like extra reward for this one. This one is just a regular guerrilla operation, and so the extra reward for that is an intel package. This is vulnerable, extremely light. I might as well launch it, as far as I can tell. Return fire and quick draw worth the pistol slot on their own. It depends a little bit on the mission. For longer missions, they certainly are. Depends what else you'd be using the equipment slot for as well. On a technical at this point in the game, I don't have much other stuff that's worth slotting in over a pistol. Flashbang, I guess. Flashbang could be okay. Pistol perks can be fine even if you don't have quick study. Depending, yeah. Hey Flavis. Well, I hope that you're enjoying it. You wonder who picks the mission titles such that we're on mission Dismal Father? Yeah. It's all about the dog picture. Painting, photograph. Maybe it's an embroidery. It's hard to tell. We don't have much resolution on it. It's a live dog trapped in a mirror. Is there any good fantasy that's been published recently that isn't like grand fantasy? Like not like Game of Thrones type stuff, right? But just like...
Orders confirmed. Moving out.
Like where the wild things are. Sorts of level of grand. But there is some.
Roger that.
I'm glad with that. It's going alright.
Getting it done.
Unicorns and stuff. Maybe.
Move, move, move.
I was just thinking like with a live dog trapped in a
Moving
mirror.
out.
I feel like I used to read all sorts of fun like short stories and stuff about things like that, and then as I've aged it's become more and more like incredibly lengthy dense novels instead of fun short stories. I feel like maybe I'm missing out on some stuff. Yeah, Strebelier. That would work out if Sharpshooter stands on high ground or stands with squad. I think Sharpshooter stands with squad here. I have an exosuit on him, and also there's high ground further up that we could get to instead. That little tower right in front of him. I might be able to stand him on.
Okay.
Don't JPP the insane.
Here.
Not a good joke. Do I follow SCP stuff at all? What is SCP? Oh, is that like the search, contain, protect thing? Or whatever? Caitlin reads that. Secure, contain, protect. Gotcha.
Let's move already. What's over there?
Short story horror, basically. I could see myself getting into that. Maybe I should get into it.
On my way. Come get some. Overwatch.
You think that'll ever turn into like a
On Overwatch.
full-length novel sort of thing of compiled stories or something like that? Wouldn't be surprised.
Scanning.
Didn't I used to read H.P. Lovecraft? I've read a bit of H.P. Lovecraft. I used to really like Edgar Allan Poe's short stories, I think, which weren't exactly horror. They were more like well, sometimes they were sort of horror.
You want some more?
There were a few things that they were, I guess.
Got a piece.
Anyway, I used to really like reading those before bed. I'm gonna kill that with no assault to clear the Overwatch. Whoa, it's a ranger. I have a ranger. Look at that. How exciting. Rangers are shit. We have a choice here. We can hit both of the civilians as well. Or... I think the civilians tend to be only downside.
Shredded. Contact specified. One down, thousands to go.
Sounded pretty grim.
Okay.
Jorbs opts for multi-track drifting with the trolley problem. You know how it is. Demolition works really well in this game. It does not work well at all in vanilla. Like, it just doesn't work a ton of the time.
Target's still up.
But yeah,
That's it. I'm out.
there was some work done to make sure that it actually did what it says it's meant to do.
On the move.
New. Gosh. My gunner is just standing right in the way. Thanks very much for the 11 months, New. And you do not have an auto reload? Take this shot. Oh, that was a good one.
Might be something we could use here.
Yeah, Mr. Pinchy Claw, thanks for the 3 months.
Moving to position.
We saw this pod, like double sectoid and a muton.
Orders confirmed, on the move. It's killing time. I'm on the move.
Oh, you do have an auto reload, just wasn't showing up on your skill bar for some reason.
On
That's weird.
Overwatch. Overwatch. Here I come. Back on line. Got it covered. All right, I'll go.
I don't think we quite made it to the high ground, unfortunately, but sharpshooter's still pretty good.
Moving on target location.
I'm sure the
What's
docs
the
will want to see
wiki
this.
for Long War? Whatever shows up when you Google it. Like, there's basically only one.
Hit the armor.
This mission extra light or very light? I think we're expecting 9 enemies on this one, which means extremely light.
Deflection.
That just looks like it's asking for me to shoot a rocket at it.
Okay, I've got one.
What's the chances there's another pod on the roof? I think they're like almost 0.
I'm spotted.
Interesting.
Barely a hit.
Now I am standing here.
Headed there now. I'm ready. Hostile neutralized. On this
I've got it.
Double Illyrium core. Holy crap. I wonder if I would go on a mission that only had 2 Illyrium cores as the reward at this stage in the campaign. Like knowing that there was no possible way that it had anything else on it. I feel like I might.
Moving. Got it covered. Overwatch. Whoa, you see that?
Sorry, friend. We got 7 turns until reinforcements show up. The evac zone's very close to the loot boxes and stuff, so that gives us a little bit more flexibility to play this slow.
Moving to position. Let's do this. Moving on target location.
Should be another pod of enemies.
Copy that. Moving to Overwatch. Come get some. Affirmative. Covering now.
Moving. Got some goods here. Moving to Overwatch.
The loot that I'm getting is insane. I think Illyrium core data cache is actually better than double Illyrium core.
Let's move already. Good copy. Moving on target. Advent forces on the ground.
Hey, dog barker. I feel like games where The game is clearly like a strategically difficult game, and you can tell the person you're watching is doing something like strategically difficult and sort of understand why the things they do are good. But it's like too much work to learn the game so that you can do that yourself. I feel like those are the best games for watching on Twitch. That's why I like watching Battlegrounds so much. It's like very impressive the things that people who are good at Battlegrounds do, and it's fairly easy for me to tell that the things they're doing are impressive, but I have like no interest in getting good enough to do those things myself. So it's really fun to watch the game for me. Like XCOM's a little bit like that.
Step back!
I have successfully made all of them have 1 HP.
I hope it's worth it. Heading to that location.
J Darkman. Thanks for the 37-month sub. Bomo show to you too.
Adjusting aim.
It would have been really nice to hit that shot instead of missing that shot.
Rip him to shreds.
God,
We have multiple targets down.
fuck. No. Oh.
Kill confirmed.
Destroyed 4 Elerium cores? Don't say that. Don't say
I'm
that.
on it.
Yeah, I hope not.
I'm all over it.
Yeah, good mission though.
Will do. Got it. Moving. Roger that. Moving to Overwatch.
Object secure. Copy that.
Moving. Got something good here.
Wish I could queue moves over multiple turns in this game.
I got your stuff.
Although I
here.
bet you'd like accidentally do it and then your soldier
No need
would
to
run
ask
into the
twice.
aliens for 2 turns in a row.
Affirmative.
Maybe it's
Roger that.
maybe it's good that that doesn't happen at least.
Got some good stuff here. Item here. Stepping off. Stepping off. On it. Double time.
On it.
Hey Duckberg, happy Sunday to you too.
On Overwatch.
Quick end mission on smash and grabs specifically. The problem is that like reinforcements are coming
I'll
in,
take a
so
look.
if you can't get out before the reinforcements come in, you know what I'm saying? There's our +4 will PCS. Oh.
Finally. Solid copy. Orders confirmed.
But yes, I would generally
Orders
agree that
confirmed. On the move.
any changes to the game to make you spend less time playing it as a running simulator are probably good changes to make.
Avenger, this is Firebrand. Package is secure. All surviving XCOM operatives are secure. Firebrand returning to base.
Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
Feels like the weather here has been all over the place. I have like a sinus headache right now, and I think it's just from the like change in pressure from It wasn't that hot here like 2 or 3 days ago, but it was very hot in my apartment. And then now it's like quite cold all of a sudden, out of nowhere. %0 successful shot percentage. We did it. There's a temperature difference of 20 degrees Fahrenheit yesterday. Is that a lot? Doesn't feel like it's that much. Isn't that like not very much?
If we keep this up, the aliens
I don't know what's normal for that. Blade Storm. Oh. Choices. I think you take Cool Under Pressure because you build for rapid reaction generally on Rangers. You can definitely build a Ranger that shoots things on your turn as well. I think the stuff that shoots things on the enemy turn tends to be a little bit stronger. Look at that shit. That's a lot of stuff. Alright, pretty good. You got some loot there in the Ericsson. We also blew up some loot, you know. You take the highs, you take the lows. There's nothing else you can do. Happy birthday, Ken. Oops. Smash and grab. In a region that's going to be strength 4 when it's time to launch it. I think we let that one go. Probably. Actually not clear that the region will be strength 4 when it's time to launch it. Would have to successfully win this mission, which is probably going to happen, but would also have to have the region not get reinforced the next week, which is a little bit less likely. Hey there, Brian. But well, thanks for the 3 months. I'm going to show to you too. Okay, an extremely light troop column. How big a deal is getting a coil rifle and a coil submachine gun for a network tower mission? It's not that big a deal. Yeah, Crooked Faye. We have a good source to direct a first-time D&D player to in terms of character creation. There's a pretty active TTRPG channel in the Discord where you can definitely chat with people about doing that, and people would like be very excited to help. Yeah, I struggled with I've always struggled with character creation in those games. Every time that I go to a new system, it's just like, oh my fucking god, there are 300 pages of rules. And then, so that's bad. But you try to I'm going to be this sort of character, and then you skim through and pick the things that seem like they do that. And then you get to the next part, which is almost equally bad, maybe more bad, where at some point you do actually know all the rules, but then you can identify which things the really strong things are, and you feel like you just do that every time. Every character ends up being sort of
our position is concealed.
50% the strong things that you take every time, and then maybe 50% unique things for that character. And that also feels sort of gross. So I don't know. Character creation, yeah, it's a lot. As long as you're... There's a troop column. As long as you are making a character that's going to be fun for you to play though, and talking with the person running the game about how you want to make sure that your character is going to be fun to play, and making sure that'll fit into the campaign you're playing. it tends to be okay in the end.
Stepping off.
Are there multiple win conditions in XCOM?
Rolling out.
No.
Affirmative.
Not in any XCOM that I've ever played.
Roger that.
It's always like there are some late game missions that you have to complete, and then it resolves the storyline and you successfully defend Earth or whatever. I'm just looking for somewhere where there's high ground with good line of sight around it from a sharpshooter. This overpass sort of messes everything up.
Heading out.
It's an extremely light troop column. It probably doesn't even matter that much. With 5 soldiers against 9 enemies, it shouldn't matter that much.
Time to motor. Copy that. Got it.
I recommend researching early on.
affirmative.
In Long War II, you always go for resistance comms. Is that what it's called? The one that lets you contact a new region. You basically always start with that to get your
Heading to
second
that
region
location.
going. And then usually you go for laser weapons. You can grab a basic research before you do laser weapons if you're feeling spicy.
Location confirmed.
You can rush for things other than laser weapons. But it's like more difficult.
Will do.
You can have a bigger payoff sometimes, but it's definitely more difficult not to die if you go for something other than laser weapons early. I feel like that might be true for every XCOM I've played. Like, you just always go for laser weapons, or whatever the tier 2 weapon
Orders
is.
confirmed. Moving out.
Turns out that dealing more damage is good in this game.
No need to ask twice.
Can't even find the enemies, like,
Got it. Moving.
at some point.
Got it.
Y'all ever, like, gone to the grocery store with someone else and then, like, you go to get something and they go to get something, and then you, like, walk around in circles where you're both trying to find the other one, but you're, like, walking at the same pace in a circle around the outside of the grocery store for, like, 5 minutes? Feels like we might have one of those situations
Moving
going
to
on in this
designated
mission.
coordinates.
On the move. I'm all over it. Let's do this. Copy that. Enemies on the move.
Are we sure there are enemies? We keep on hearing them moving around. So that strongly implies it.
On my way.
Good to go.
Oh, we found them. Umitons, 2 snakes. And then there will also be some sort of advent soldier pod on the mission.
Good to go.
And pretty much guarantee.
On the move. Stepping off.
I've always enjoyed
Moving to
D&D
position.
combat as like a multiplayer puzzle almost, where you're trying to work out together how you're going to deal with all the different
Roger that.
enemies that you're fighting.
Moving to position.
So rule sets that lend themselves easily to that have been appealing to me. That's always been more important to me than realism.
Let's do this.
How come the mutant isn't wearing a sweater?
Got it covered.
Maybe
I've got my eyes on.
walking around in circles for hours and hours and hours is actually like enough to sort of get the body temperature up. I don't know how briskly they're walking, I guess.
That's affirmative. Okay.
Roger, I've got my eyes on.
Is there a place you can access a player's handbook, or do you need to buy it?
Affirmative. Moving out.
Hey kid,
Affirmative. Covering
want
now.
some player's handbooks?
There's an Advent captain nearby. We should attempt to disable it with the Skulljack.
Do I have a skulljack? Oh, I do have a skulljack. Look at that.
Eyes on the prize.
Moving to Overwatch.
Overwatch.
I think I just Overwatch.
Roger. Got my eyes on.
Because I'm gonna want to Shredder Cannon next turn anyway. Managed to fight everything at the same time. Whoops.
We're spotted.
Dots. Dots.
Big deal.
Well, that pod's slightly less alive, but this pod, it's used all of my Overwatches. Right? Also, are they going to be yellow alerted? Because they heard me shooting. Spooky. What do I actually have here? Got a Shinobi, a Technical, a Specialist, Skull Mining, a Sharpshooter, and an Assault. Close Combat Specialist. Yeah.
On my way.
Notifications are showing? Yeah, I know. What do you want me to do about it? Just like get hired by Firaxis and fix their video games? I don't know.
Blast them.
Just crit that snake for 12. Was like a big number. For me. Good 5th edition GM can mitigate the effect of the 10-minute adventure day, but 4th edition handled the problems with the way the system was designed. Yeah, can't say I'm a huge fan of all that stuff in D&D. It sort of made it harder for me to enjoy D&D when I played D&D. The idea that you have like a certain number of resources you can use per day, but the like rate at which you use them is just very unsatisfying typically.
They've been destroyed.
Spell slots are the worst part of D&D. Yeah. It feels really gross to be in a fight where ooh. It's really gross to be in a fight where you don't want to use your spells because you might need them later, and it feels equally gross to be in a fight where you do use your spells and then like later you need them. They both feel awful.
Orders confirmed. Moving out.
Yeah, I was concerned about that.
Flamethrower engaged.
Was the system before spell slots? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played the earlier systems. I don't know if there's any better way to do it, really. Probably. Some sort of... But are you levitating? That's normal.
Watch the flanks. They're moving.
That's... I mean... Yeah, I don't know.
Not a problem. By the numbers. Hey, we've got loot here. Positive confirmation. Area secured. Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
Good GM can teach players that you don't get to rest whenever you want, and you have to pace your resource usage, but it's hard to do. Yeah. I don't know. I've always struggled a lot with that because, like, in theory, you can always get, like, ambushed at night, right? So, when is there any moment where it's safe to use all of your resources if you're a wizard? There just sort of isn't in D&D. But there are many, many classes which are designed to sort of be bad if they don't have any of their resources left available. It never really worked out how I was meant to play that felt good, other than just to trust the DM to not throw me in situations that felt really bad.
Our troops are making it look easy out there, Commander. All thanks to you.
That's what scrolls are for, is it? Guess that makes sense. Amazing how I played 3 missions of XCOM, like exactly, and then I'm like, oh yeah, cool. That was a good amount of XCOM. Like, it just feels nice. I'm progressing the campaign, but I don't feel like I'm like... I don't know. It just feels like the right amount of XCOM. Very consistently. I thought that starting with XCOM today, maybe I'd want to play more than that, but no, like 3 missions feels pretty good. Problem is that if the GM never makes you fight when you're out of resources, then running out of resources is never a problem. Sure. You want to play Sudokus again? I think I might play some Monster Train. Choo choo. Choo choo.